Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Kripa Lakshmi. I work for Sphere India and I am a program associate and I take care of the capacity building and knowledge sharing vertical as well as communications and advocacy. So today we are here for our second episode of our webinar series we are doing with in collaboration with a lot of organizations. And for today, our knowledge partner and collaborators are PRISM and CARN-AP. On behalf of PRISM and CARN-AP and all my colleagues, I welcome you all today. So we remember how in childhood we used to look at the clouds and make patterns and cartoon characters out of it. But as we grow and as we are in this field of disaster management and when you talk about meteorology and all the climate risk, clouds may appear simple in childhood, but they are not very simple right now. They are very complex and they're complex and their influential components. They have an effect on the climate system and they regulate the Earth's energy balance, influence rainfall patterns, and they shape extreme weather events and remain one of the biggest uncertainties in climate projections. From intense rainfall and cyclone to prolonged heat waves, understanding cloud dynamics is crucial for improving forecasting, climate modeling, and disaster preparedness, but yet it is very difficult to understand them as well. So, today we aim to unpack these complexities and explore how atmospheric clouds influence both local weather system and broader climate risk as well. And with this introduction, it is my honor to introduce you today's moderator of our session, Dr. Raktima Mukhopadhyay. Ma'am, I would take a moment and the pleasure to introduce you and say a brief note about you, about what I know about you. Uh, Ma'am is the Executive Director of the Indian Institute of Biosocial Research and Development. Ma'am has over 30 years of experience in participatory natural resource management and sustainable development. A geographer by training, ma'am holds a PhD from the University of Calcutta, and in her PhD, she has focused on agroclimatic variations and human interventions in joint forest management in West Bengal. Ma'am also has a MSc in environmental geography from Budwan University and completed her BSc in geography from Lady Brabon College. Associated with IBRAT for since 91, she is serving as the executive director. She has led action research and large-scale capacity building initiatives across India and internationally through IBRAT. Her work spans gender and women's empowerment as well, ecosystem service in the context of climate change, community-led climate resilient livelihoods, participatory rural resource governance, and integrated landscape management. Ma'am also has contributed as a resource person at institutions like Australian National University and Gajah Mada University and has led several key projects, including capacity building for participatory vulnerable tribal groups, supported by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and integrated landscape management initiatives for sustainable agriculture in West Bengal. Ma'am, it is a great pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, and over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, Namaskar. Thank you, Krupa, for the kind words. And it is indeed my pleasure and honor to be here today as a moderator for this very important discussion and hosting Professor Sheikh Tawhidul Islam, whom I know for quite long, a very good friend of ours, and Mr. Debashish Sharkar. The topic that is selected today is very, very important and pertinent, as Krupa has mentioned in her opening remarks, like cloud. We romanticize cloud. We live with clouds. Clouds are so important to us. Yet, if we go deep into it, it is quite complex and it directs, it manipulates, it gives shapes to our climate that has an impact, very important impact on our life and livelihood. And in the context, in today's context, in the field of like climate change, increasing climate risks, and the vulnerability that we all are facing, it is very important to know about the cloud dynamics, both like for all the policymakers, the academicians, the development practitioners, and for developing not only policies for disaster risk mitigation, developing strategies, and how we can include this knowledge system for actually influencing the life and livelihood of the people. So it's a very welcome decision to have such an important topic for today's discussion. And we are having two of the best minds and actors in this field of area of research, of activities. So our first speaker today is he's participating from China. We welcome Professor Sheikh Tawhidul Islam, professor of Beihang University, China, who will be whose discourse will be on convective systems, climate change, and disaster risk in the Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific is one of the most important areas in the field of this climate studies, as one of the most densely populated areas of the world. And it is very important to understand the dynamics with a focus on Asia Pacific. Professor Islam presently is a professor at the Regional Center for Space Science and Technology Education in Asia and the Pacific, Beihang University, China. He has over 2 decades of experience in environmental systems and related fields, including disaster risk assessment and climate change. His interdisciplinary work integrates geospatial science, for example, remote sensing, GIS, GNSS, and social theory like human geography to better understand environmental processes and improve community well-being. He is currently the lead author of the chapter titled Policy and Global STI Governance for the 8th UNESCO Science Report. Dr. Islam is also a senior research fellow, disaster management and climate change analytics for South and East Asia at the United Nations University Institute for Water, Environment and Health. Grounded in theoretical and technical expertise and field-based research, his work aims to improve understanding of environmental systems and processes so that effective solutions for human well-being can be developed. So we welcome Professor Islam in today's program, and may I now request Professor Islam to kindly focus, throw light on his topic. Professor Islam, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rukhima and also all the CARN-AP members and the guests and participants who are here. I've seen that there are 23 people have joined here. So may I get my... you can request sharing the okay request. So I have to
I hope screen sharing option is there.
Screen share send request. Okay, yeah.
So host, if you can kindly enable the screen sharing option.
Yeah. Sir, I think the option should have been enabled for you.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. Yes, sir, we can see it. If you could make it bigger. Yes, sir, it's perfect.
Yeah, that is in presentation mode. If it is okay.
Yes, sir, we are able to see it, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me in this particular webinar. It's a series of webinars organized by Spare India, and a number of partners are there. It is a fantastic journey for all of us. We got the opportunity to discuss many important things in this particular sessions, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm again saying that I'm feeling privileged to be here with you today. The title is Atmospheric Cloud Dynamics and Convective Systems, understanding climate risk in the Asia Pacific. As you know, that this is basically nowadays a kind of very important topic and widely discussed phenomenon in the scientific community and also with the water managers, disaster risk managers, media, public, and the policymakers, because it is causing this particular convective system is causing different kinds of disruptions in the in lives in different parts of the world. It has also some positive impacts as well. So today we'll focus the technical aspects of the phenomenon and how we could use different tools, method, and data to understand better the atmospheric cloud or atmospheric river, the way it is occurring and just creating impacts in our lives. Next slide. So basically, I'll be talking about the characteristics and the way it occurs, and then what's our current preparedness or what we could do to better understand the situations. Basically, the atmospheric river situations are better understood in the United States and European regions, European countries of those particular regions. But we are not in a very good shape to understand what is happening in our Asia Pacific regions. There are a good number of research in Australia and also in New Zealand in these particular areas, but we are a bit far behind from understanding these particular situations. So those will I'll pay some attention on that. And how could we just better understand that in terms of scientific understanding, developing scientific understanding, and better manage this particular situation that will also be discussed. Basically, in the context of our region. So atmospheric river, basically, this is a very long, narrow corridor in the lower atmosphere that transport concentrated water vapor. Basically, they are typically it's very long, almost 2,000 kilometers long, and the width is 500 kilometers to 1,000 kilometer. And it generally the the unit we use basically to determine or to understand this particular phenomenon is called IVT, integrated vapor transport basically. And generally there are three different categories. We call this particular atmospheric river as weak AR or atmospheric river, moderate and strong. Basically, if the IVT, that means the integrated water vapor transport, carries 250 kilograms of water per second per meter, the movement of the water, that if it is less than 250 kilograms, then it is called weak. If it is within 250 to 500 kilograms, then it is called a moderate atmospheric rivers. And then strong is if it is 500 kilograms per meter per second. If the water vapor the concentrated water vapor moves in the regions where it is just happening. So basically, this is typically a narrow, as I mentioned, elongated bands of high water vapor content, and they form when the moisture from the tropics is funneled by weather systems and concentrated in a narrow band. Basically, this particular concentration happens in between the high pressure belt and the low pressure belt, and it is in the subtropics, not in the tropical regions. Tropical regions we just get different kind of rainfall, but it happens especially in the subtropics. And there are many different mechanisms that we use to understand this particular phenomenon, and it is without using the data and the different algorithms, different climate models, it is really difficult to understand how our atmospheric rivers are being developed and propagating to different locations and just making creating the impact conditions. So we basically use satellite data. Different satellite data are there to just get a number of variables: the pressure, the humidity, the vapor content, the movement of the water, movement of the air mass, so movement of the cloud as well. So there are many different sensors that we use on board the satellite systems. Plenty of satellites are there now, and we also use the weather radars, weather balloons to get the data. And finally, different climate models are being used. Different algorithms, AI algorithms, machine learning tools are there. Those help us to understand the characteristics of the atmospheric rivers and also to predict when that particular atmospheric river induced rainfall may occur in a certain region and how many days it will last in certain regions. So these are the observing and detection atmospheric river, some kind of tools and data collection instruments. And as I mentioned, that it is generally don't occur in the tropical regions. You could just see the orange band, that is the tropical region, the 0 degree latitude. But the other regions, other two regions in this southern and northern hemisphere, the regions in the west coast of USA, west coast of Western European regions, South Asia as well. East Asian regions, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, west coast of Chile. These are some of the regions where we see the impacts of atmospheric rivers. And it is nowadays more intense, and the magnitude is bigger than the previous times. This is one of the photographs that I have just taken from the Climate Science Special Report published by the US Global Change Research Program. They regularly publish these particular reports. Now the fifth volume is available. That was published in 2023. And this is one of the two figures that you could just see that the upper figure shows that on 13th of October 2009, there was a kind of 24-hour rainfall occurred in the western coast of USA, and that the occurrence of the rainfall was just in 24 hours, 485 millimeters. And there's another atmospheric river conditions that you could just see that happened on 7th of November 2006. And in 72 hours, 625 millimeters rainfall occurred. So huge amount of rainfall occurs basically, and it happens especially in the winter times. In winter times in USA, but we have to know what is the condition in terms in the of the occurrence of this particular atmospheric river induced rainfall in our South Asia, South and Southeast Asia, or the East Asia regions, but it is well studied in USA basically. So I'm just giving these particular references from the USA research exercises. There are a number of negative and positive impacts of atmospheric rivers. The negative impacts, as we have been discussing, one is heavy rainfall. Flooding is always just being caused by heavy rainfall. Storms are also there. We could see that many different storms with strong winds, heavy rainfall, and inundation conditions as results of the atmospheric rivers. A storm surge in the coastal areas, that is also a common phenomenon. A strong water current leading to breaching of embankments, levees, that is happening. Landslides is one of the major impact areas, and also debris flow avalanches that is being caused by the atmospheric river induced huge rainfall. It brings cycles of wet and dry years. That is also a phenomenon. Atmospheric river induced rainfalls are generally warmer than normal storms or rainfalls. That means when this particular rainfall occurs in the mountain areas, it creates a kind of vulnerable conditions to the snow peaks in those particular regions. There are some positive impacts as well, like it contributes in filling the reservoirs because of the huge amount of rainfall, filling the reservoirs, wetlands, ponds, and also contributing recharging the groundwater levels. And also contribute in ending a long spell of drought conditions, especially in the interior of the continents, where generally we don't see rainfall. But these particular atmospheric river conditions create rainfall conditions in those particular regions. It also sustains wetlands, floodplains, and fisheries, and also freshens estuaries, but sometimes threaten estuarine fauna. So some of the negative impacts are there. Some positive impacts are also there. We could think. These are some of the results that we are in the process of producing. One of my students he is just doing one exercise to see the impacts of the atmospheric rivers in our South Asian conditions. Especially, he is focusing on the Bangladesh context, and he is saying that he is observing while just playing with the data that a huge amount of rainfall is connected to the IVT, and it is sometimes crossing, as I have just mentioned, that the moderate atmospheric river is just if the water if the wind carries 250 to 500 kilometers of kgs of water vapor passing per meter per second, then it is moderate. But we could just see that here almost 600, 500, 600, even nearly 700 IVT values we could just find in the Bangladesh part of south. It's not eastern part of Bangladesh. This is the rainfall, and it is we use the rainfall from Cherrapunji. Basically, Cherrapunji is in India, and this particular figure shows that there is a kind of rainfall occurrence that we are experiencing in our region is causing from the impacts of the atmospheric river. So these are I'm just I'm not discussing these things. And these are the variables that we basically need. We need to gather a number of need to gather data on a number of variables to understand the situation. When we gather the data on these particular variables, you could just see how many data we need to just use to understand the to develop the the pattern, recognize the characteristics of the atmospheric river. This particular information are generally developed from different sensors of the satellite. And then these are some of the preliminary results that we are just in a position to understand the atmospheric rivers in our regions. And it is showing an increasing trend, and it is possible to detect the length and the tail, the head, and the occurrence of the rainfall, and the amount of water vapor the atmospheric rivers carry, and where it is located in terms of latitude, longitude, or the location. So all those particular things could be ascertained if all those particular information are available, and that is available basically in different satellite sensors, and we are just using those particular information. And these are three cases: 2015, 18, and 20. And we have identified three atmospheric river cases where we have seen that the landfall IVT is nearly 1,000 kilograms per meter per second. You could just see here landfall IVT is 928 in 2015. In 2018, it was 978. So it is the way where atmospheric rivers are being measured or or characterized. This matches with some of the major rainfall events in our region. That means we are just in a position to use this different machine learning and the techniques, different algorithms using some of the satellite data to detect the atmospheric rivers in our region. So these are some of the results that we have got. It tells us the temporal trends show increasing air activity, atmospheric river activity in our regions. Both total atmospheric river events and high intensity events are increasing over time. The 2010 and 2020 shows more frequent events that we have just detected using those particular data. This is the rainy season. We have identified that the May in our region, basically in Bangladesh, the monthly progression of atmospheric river happens to be from month of May to August, And July, the month of July is the most dangerous month when we experience more rainfall induced from atmospheric rivers. And peak intensity typically occurs in the mid to late rainy season, not at the tail end of the rainy season. Just before the end of the rainy season, we got the peak intensity. High intensity atmospheric rivers have distinct characteristics that we have found that category 4-5, that highest degree of atmospheric rivers, show significant higher IVT values, more than 800 units, and that we experienced in Bangladesh condition, and larger spatial dimensions than moderate atmospheric rivers also happens. So these are some of the results that we have found in our exercises. And extreme events are also becoming more frequent. That the top 10% of the intensity events are increasing. So that means the highest category of atmospheric rivers occurrences are more happening in recent times, especially during the last 10 years. These are some of the observations that atmospheric rivers carry large volume of water. Sometimes it is said and mentioned by some of the authors that often it transport as much water as in the Amazon River. So it's a huge volume of water the atmospheric rivers carry, and extreme precipitation producing weather systems ranging from tropical cyclones to atmospheric rivers are very likely to produce heavier precipitation at higher global warming levels, and we are experiencing higher global warming levels. That means we could imagine that more atmospheric river induced precipitation will occur in the upcoming days. And observed changes in the atmospheric circulation are shifting the distribution of precipitation throughout the tropics and subtropics, resulting in greater precipitation variability for South Asia and the Pacific Islands. So these are some of the observations. Basically, we now need to develop the early warning systems that is not there, especially in our part of the globe. We don't know when that may occur, and how could we just see atmospheric river events in comparison or in association with the monsoon climate system or the convective convective systems that is like a number of mesoscale convective systems are also happening in our region. So how to distinguish atmospheric river from our monsoon climate system from other convective systems, that is one of the issues that we need to just pay attention to. And also risk assessment, that is very important. Knowledge of atmospheric rivers allows cities and regions to anticipate extreme weather events and plan for flood prevention, infrastructure strengthening, and public awareness. Basically, we are familiar with the risk assessment when a certain degree of disasters or the known pattern of rainfall occurrences, storms, or the cyclones happen in our part of the region. But if something goes wrong as results of atmospheric river conditions, then what will be the damage scenarios, the loss conditions of crops, infrastructure, the lives, the settlements. So those are some of the issues that we need to pay attention to. We are not very sure about those particular things. And in the changing climatic conditions, what will be the condition? That is another area of paying attention. In our part in Asia Pacific, there is basically no single comprehensive database that we could just use or to get the information. What is the state of the condition in our particular region? What is the rainfall occurrence happening or will happen? We basically don't know. Most of the works have been done on in the regions of North America and the Europe. And the way we know atmospheric river is basically by doing some research. So it is retrospective activities that we are doing when the data are available, when the algorithms are available, when the good computers are available, when the human skills are available, then we could just detect some of the atmospheric rivers that happened maybe in earlier times when there was some heavy rainfall occurred in our region. So, but doing the prediction, it is. I think we need to just think of it. How could we do that? We are not ready to just do the early warning using different data and variables and the models for our region. Many regional heavy rain events are consistent with a strong AR or atmospheric river moisture transport, but not always explicitly labeled as atmospheric river events in the reports because we are not in a position to really get the understanding or to detect or to characterize those particular heavy rainfall events as the result of the atmospheric river induced rainfall. So these are some of the events that we have got from different literature. That is those particular events happened as results of atmospheric rivers.
Excuse me, Professor
Yes.
Islam, can you please conclude?
Yep.
Yeah, because of the time constraint. Yeah.
Yeah. 5 minutes. Hello, Dr. Raktima. Can I get 5 minutes or
Can you please within 2-3 minutes, if you can kindly
2 3 minutes? Okay.
conclude.
Okay. There are a number of events. In 2018, there was a extreme rainfall in Kerala, and that is reported that happened as a result of atmospheric river. And also there was a flood in Japan in 2020, China in 2025, Pakistan 2022. So all those are basically reported to be the results of the atmospheric rivers. So there was an animation, but I'm not using it. So these are some of other issues that I wanted to discuss, but maybe some other times we'll be discussing on those particular things. These particular slides basically show that we have been doing a number of human-induced interventions in the countries to make destabilize or disturb the whole hydrological, climatological, and fluvial processes. And as a result, we just saw a number of rivers died and different flooding and other disaster conditions happen in that particular in basically our part of the region in Bangladesh. So in such a condition, if the atmospheric river just cause disturbance or create impact conditions, then it will be very difficult to for us to just manage. And because we are not in a position to we don't have data, a number of data we don't have the capacity to process the data to produce it as information. We don't have the knowledge based on the information that we could just produce the knowledge and the locally led wisdom that we could just use to mitigate or manage or to cope with the situation. So we are just, I was just thinking to just describe some of the issues by using this data, information, knowledge, and the wisdom framework. But maybe sometimes later we'll be discussing on those things. And there are many different instruments that we could also use to gather information that are needed for gathering the information. Some other slides that I am also not using. So with this particular note, I'm saying thank you for listening, and thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Islam, and thank you for introducing us to this new area. Actually, many of us, we are not quite well conversant with this area and this atmospheric river, the concept that you have introduced, which is so important and so so important for developing a strategy and policies. And what kind of interventions for early warning system risk mitigation strategies that we can prepare. So I hope, Professor Islam, you will be available for answering the questions after the presentation of our next speaker, Mr. Debashish Sarkar. Should we proceed with Professor Sarkar?
Hello.
Professor Islam, can you hear me?
Yeah, stop share. Yeah, I'll
Maybe
share.
some.
Stopping my sharing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, if you can kindly be with us, we will be taking the questions after the presentation of our next speaker, Mr. Sharkar, Debashish Sharkar.
Yes,
So
I'll be.
thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have our next speaker of the panel today, Mr. Debashish Sharkar. And I feel very privileged to introduce Mr. Sharkar with our this participants today. By profession, Mr. Sharkar is a financial journalist. He is a science educator, nurturing his hobby of astronomy for last 3 decades, and founder of Astronomy Club Swan, recognized by NASA and affiliated by ISRO. Mr. Sharkar regularly contributes to many publications, including NCSM's Science Reporter. Debashish was nominated by Government of India as selector and coach of India's International Astronomy Olympiad team in 2019. National Film Board of Canada made a full-length documentary movie on his activity in 1999. A graduate in science, arts, and law, Debashish remains under support of his wife, a non-professional classical singer and only son, a postdoctorate fellow in astrophysics in Max Planck Institute, Germany. So welcome, Mr. Sharkar, and the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much, Raktima. And
It's my honor.
Thanks a lot for that warm welcome. In fact, I was listening to Professor Islam, and the first thing that comes to my mind that yes, it is indeed always every time we learn so many things from the senior people, and this atmospheric river, I never heard of it. This was the first time that I could learn something. The river is there in the atmosphere also. Thanks, Dr. Islam. Thank you very much. Well, to be very frank, I believe I'm a misfit to this platform because I hardly know anything about climate, atmosphere, or anything. So I cannot contribute anything academic here. I made this thing very clear. But yes, for during my quarter century long journalist profession, I have been traveling through many places and experiencing many occasions and many things. Those sometimes touched me too deep. So, Raktima, what I'll try to share a couple of those things to all of us, and you will be the people to assess the reason behind it. And I'll be mainly dealing with this flash flood, cloud bursts, this kind of situations that I have faced in my locality. My locality means Sabhimala and West Bengal. So I'll be going through a couple of photographs and I'll talk a little bit about those photographs firstly. Then it will be your thing to decide why these things happens and how can I mitigate that thing. You know, in our place in North Bengal. North Bengal means the northern half of West Bengal in the state of West Bengal. Heavy rain is a very common thing. And we used to witness rainy season. It used to be said that in our region we have only 2 seasons. One is monsoon, another is winter. That was 30-40 years back. Now it is not like that. But flash flood, heavy rain, those always remain as a constant normal thing in our region, and we used to witness that. But things never used to be in news because the population density in hilly areas was not very high. Now, when something happens and the impact on human life takes place, then obviously our attention comes on that. So what happens, we come to know, and the only technical thing that I know that with every single degree temperature rise, with every single degree temperature in rise, that there is a 7 or 8% increase in the water retaining capacity. So the air holds more amount of water, and when that comes down, that is a downpour. And in hilly region, it happens in a very localized manner, in a very huge vertical clouds. So when it breaks, then we get a heavy amount of water in a small duration of time. That is what the technicality that I know. Okay, it's a very, 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 very basic thing, I'm sorry, I do not know about this thing. But with that in the thing, I have learned during my professional life that we have so far only 10 Doppler radars, and each one of them covers 250 square kilometers. So the gap is enormous. As Professor Islam also be saying, we need to have very more amount of data to analyze the thing properly and to have idea of the thing properly. Moreover, this river Brahmaputra, this river Chenab, Brahmaputra comes from China, Chenab comes from Pakistan. So do we at all have very close cross-border data sharing mechanism? I mean, on the fly, real-time data sharing mechanism that is very much needed, I believe, to mitigate the flooding and the cloudburst thing in our region, in Indian region. However, recent cloudburst, in recent past, we had couple of big flooding issues, cloudburst issues, and a couple of them were associated with the breach of water reservoirs in many pockets at Himalayan region, Himalayan region at low altitude up to 5,000 feet altitude. We have many lakes, many water ponds or water bodies, and often they breach, they burst, and the water load that comes down. And the river that is there in the foothills, if that doesn't have much of water retaining capacity, then obviously the flooding takes place and that it causes depredation and loss of agricultural field. Now the thing is, always we take care, always we look after the depredation or the damage taken place for the human society, but often we miss to notice what it is doing for the wildlife, because our place is very much thickly populated with many wildlife, mostly the keynote species elephant, the huge one. I'll be mainly talking about elephants. So in October 2025, overnight rainfall that it was perhaps 4th or 5th, and that caused many landslides and 28 death occurrences. In October 2023, in Tista, a glacial lake outburst that caused the flooding, and it was at Sikkim, but the depredation taken place in long area, in huge area along Tista River. Then June 2025, these are the notable ones. In June 2025, we had one more major crisis, and the frequency is increasing. Frequency is increasing and its cascading effect, those are also increasing. And so those are impacting wildlife, rhino, deer, leopards. Moreover, the most importantly, elephants. In fact, all the elephant pictures and database and other incidents, whatever I can share with you today, couple of them, most of them are my own data, my own collection. At the same time, there are a couple of boys, there are a couple of organizations, they are doing excellent here. One of them is Airavat. And that Airavat organization, they are relentlessly working on this keynote species elephant. And many photographs that I'll be showing you, those I could have from them only. However, let me show the couple of pictures, if I can share my screen. The area that I'll be handling first, how to share the screen. I'm sending a request for screen sharing.
Krupa, you shared the screen sharing option
Yes,
to Mr.
sir.
Sarkar?
Yes, sir. It should be visible on your screen now, sir.
So should I choose this current content only thing? I get couple of options here. Friends, I'm not
I
very much
think
well aware of this, well conversant with these technical things. It gives me present layout. It gives me 4 options: current only, as background, over the shoulder, side by side. So current only, I believe.
content only, sir. Content
Content
only,
only.
and then
Yeah,
you
that's
can
content
select
only.
whichever window you want to share,
And
the
share
presentation
sound.
window.
Should I go for share sound?
If you are using any audio, it would be better if you
No,
could share.
there is no audio.
And then we can skip that, sir.
Do you get the
Yes.
picture?
Just a second.
Do you get the picture?
It's loading, sir. Yes, we can see
It's
that. We can
coming,
see
I
on map.
think.
Oh, yeah.
It has
Yes.
come. It has come.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this is the picture from left to right. I mean, west to east, it is 130 kilometers approximately. Now the left one, left river, the big one, extreme left in where it is written as Bahundangi, that is Mechi. Mechi is the river that denotes the boundary between West Bengal and Nepal. I mean, India and Nepal. Then you come to east, we get Balason. Then the big one, the extreme right, that is mighty Tista. And if you can see my cursor, do you see my cursor moving here?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Now the place I'm pointing out, that is Gajaldoba Barrage. That is the huge dam that controls the water of Tista in between, that shares the water load of Tista between India and Bangladesh. So at the extreme western side, we have Mechi. This is a big river. Then comes Balason, very important river. Then comes Tista. And this entire region is 150 kilometers. So I'm not going deeper into the factions, but I have other, area of coverage. Yeah. Now, if I increase the frame, if I increase the scale, in this scale, 1 inch is 500 meters. So you can see Mechi. This is the Mechi river, extreme end. This river bed is approximately 1 kilometer wide. Then comes couple of smaller rivers. And in this way, we can finally reach Tista. Tista is so big. Tista is so big that we cannot cover that in one frame. This is the Tista, and it runs north to south. And this north-south huge area, or entire place is infested, or there are huge number of elephant population. I've gone back to the main slide, main picture, in which the whole area is visible. This eastern side forest, this area crossing Tista, then crossing Balason, then crossing Mechi, and the elephant herds, many herds, they keep on roaming in this entire area. So the movement of these elephants, those take place from east to west and again west to east, from Tista to Balasun, Tista to Mechi. Actually, this is a very old concept that a single herd keeps on moving. No, there are residential herds, and a place right within 20 kilometers from the place from where I'm speaking now, there are 100 elephants gathered together inside a tea garden. This is the place of, this is the picture. Usually, in normal course, the thing happens like this. Area of coverage, usual. This is the usual pattern of these animals, their behaviors. This is Tista river bed. This is Tista river bed. This one single picture tells you the story. You can see small huts, agricultural field, elephants in a huge herd, then cattle. Apparently, it looks very nice, but do you realize how
It
risky
seems there is
environment
some
it is?
network issue, so we cannot see the picture, the next picture that you're
That
trying to
is
show us.
okay.
Maybe due
That
to
is
network issue. Yeah.
maybe that is on my screen. So do I need to do anything? But it is screen share. Already it is shared. Could you see my maps?
Maps we could see.
So
We could see the
Islam,
previous slide, but
not
when you
this.
changed it, we cannot see. Yeah.
Okay. Um, A yellow box is coming. I do not know what for it is.
We can see your cursor moving over the screen, but the picture
Not
is
a
not
picture.
there.
I think there is a dialog box open, sir. I think it's
Do I need to do
in.
something from here?
Can you please, if you can stop sharing and share again, try that
Okay,
because
okay.
it's been loading for a long time.
Okay, stop sharing. Stop sharing. Yeah, I've stopped sharing. So I should go once again.
Yes, sir. I think that would
Yeah, and you
fix
can
the
share
issue.
again.
Okay, but there is a window. There is a window that shows me the thumbnails of different things, different pictures. Acha, application window. Did you get it?
It's loading, sir. It's opening.
It should be a picture of many elephants standing with.
Yeah, we could see, but
We can see the thumbnails. We can see the thumbnails, but
yeah.
But
it's
it
taking
isn't.
time to open.
It
Yeah.
isn't full screen. It is full screen in my machine. On my screen, it is in full.
So you can click on the next photo.
Next photo, I've clicked.
Okay, no
We
change.
can see you clicking the picture, sir, but it's not opening
Yeah,
in big
not
screen.
opening.
But the previous one was there, no?
Hmm.
Can I do one thing? Kripa, could you please help me? I can share this entire folder to you if you want, and you can share.
Yes, sir. I can do that. Yes.
Can I send all the photographs to you? Although
Yes, sir. Please.
it may take some time. Through which route should I send it to you?
Pictures and videos, if it's smaller, you can send it to me on WhatsApp,
No,
or
actually,
you can send it to me on mail also.
unfortunately, these are not small.
Okay.
Okay, let me try once again.
Is it open in your screen, sir?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
There are
So
videos
can
also.
you can you check if you have shared while sharing, if you have given the option of sharing window or entire screen?
No, I have given content only. Should
Okay.
I go for
And
entire screen?
yes, sir. If you can select entire screen, then I think if it is one window, we can only see the window of the folder.
Yeah.
It is named
Yeah.
usual habitat. I think that is the
I have
case.
your screen sharing and I have shared the whole screen.
Okay, but we can see your window. We can see the thumbnails, but I don't think it's open. If you can try
It is,
opening again. Hi,
Yeah.
it's visible
Yeah.
now, sir. Yes.
got it?
It is.
Yes, sir. We can see it now.
Okay. So
Perfect. Yes.
Kripa, now can I use my left right arrows or up down arrows to
Yes,
get
sir.
the.
You try using.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
I'll give
next picture
you
is. Did you get
feedback
a new
if it
next
is
picture?
changing. We are able to see the second picture as well, sir. Yes.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Please. We can see a dialog box now. Yes, sir. Visible
so
now, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yes.
okay. I'm sorry. I've wasted a couple of minutes. Getting old.
No, sir. If it means we get to see very interesting pictures like this, I think we can wait for a couple more minutes also. No problem at all.
See, these are very touchy. These are very touchy. In fact, I have been writing on financial issues, but this agri field, this agriculture and the mines, those are the first tier of generation of economy. So naturally, and these agri fields of these regions, those are largely impacted with these cloud bursts, these unpredicted flooding, and these pretty animals. Uh, I've grown up seeing these animals close vicinity. Now, this one single picture that tells you a huge story. You know, this is the at the background. If you see, those are the water channel is flowing at the behind. In this picture, the background is east, and we are looking from the west, and these are the elephants. It is an elephant herd that is pouring inside agricultural field, and you can see cattle together with them at a very close distance. Behind the elephants, temporary huts, even electric pole. So this is a level of coexistence that is continuing here. This is Mechi River at the Nepal border. Now you see almost 35-40 elephants with the kids, with cubs. They are also there, and it has become their common habit to use or to roam on the river beds. So all of a sudden, if the water load comes, then what will happen to them? Just imagine. Elephants are by birth inborn swimmers. They are great high level of swimmers, but they are nothing in front of the tremendous force of water. See the coexistence level. A baby elephant, its parents, one tractor loaded with boulder inside a tea garden, just 3 kilometers from the place that I have shown you earlier, the last picture. This is the kind of coexistence. And this entire thing, everything is dependent on weather, climate, as well as they're impacted with flash flood. Now you see a huge bull that is facing a huge herd of elephants across a electric fence. Two thin wires, just two thin electric wires, they have separated normal cattle and wild elephants. Behind those elephants, it is Tista riverbed where there is agricultural field, watermelon. And these elephants now they are waiting here and waiting for their leader. Name of that animal, the name of that leader is Diagonesh, because it has only one trunk. So it will come, it will break the fence, and they will enter into the watermelon field. It is known. It is that's what they're waiting. And this is the kind of coexistence. Hundreds of people standing queuing on riverbed. This is Tista river bank, and these are the embankments. And they are watching, shouting, irritating those elephants. This is the kind of environment. However, so with this as the thing, now we go back. What happens during the flood? Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Kripa, this is the cloudy sky.
Yes. We can see.
This has got nothing to do with the elephants, but this is the view that we get. This is the kind of view that we get during monsoon. And this picture was on a very unusual day prior to that October incident in 2025. It was from a place called Nodhabari. That place, the people, they always remain prepared for elephant herds to come. And they keep a certain area of agric field prepared for the elephants only. They don't take the harvest from there. Just see, when all of a sudden the flash flood comes, what happens to the elephants? This is in Mechi River. 4 elephants stuck. 4 elephants stuck in Mechi River. Krupi, can I play video?
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yes. And I'll let you know if it is visible for us. Yes, sir, we can see it.
What a pathetic scenario. It's a mom. You can see the kid. It's trying to save the baby. It is in Mechi, last year's incident. Now see the desperation of that mother. You can see the desperation of this mother. This flooding took place all of a sudden without information. One more. This was Bechi. Now this is the next one that will be showing will be from Tista. See the depth of water. This is my own picture. I was there. These elephants were at a distance of say 600 meters from me, and see the depth of water. And these herd had cubs. See the desperation level of the entire herd. Now, more pathetic, there are wildlife management policies. There are wildlife management policies. Forest Department and other departments, many non-government organizations, they follow those policies, and nobody wants the elephants to enter into their own region. So these animals are pushed from all the sides. They are pushed from west, they are pushed out from south, and I'm looking towards them from east, and in north, from there water is coming. So where will they go? This is a electric transmission tower within the river, and this is a small piece of land that they could have, and they were just, and see the water mark on the body of this huge elephant. So you can well imagine the depth of water that they wanted to cross. You can, I do not know whether you are getting the sound or not. There are firecracker sounds, because from many sides people are bursting firecrackers to prevent this herd to enter into their own region. Now, these are during the flood, and there are many other pictures, but I believe time is not time is short in our hands, so I'll go for the post-flood scenario. These are the couple of post-flood scenario. What happens post-flood? Elephants, people, these agricultural fields. These agricultural fields are not officially actually agricultural fields. Those are the river banks, eastern side and eastern side and western side, in both sides. Kilometers wide agricultural field, and if you go by the rule of the land and laws, these are all illegal agricultural fields. But you cannot just allow people to die there. You cannot just allow the elephants to die there. It has become the system. People, they come from many places and they practice agricultural things there, because these places are not hosting any active water channel. But the moment a flash flood comes, they get washed out. Now these elephants, they have developed their habit of leaving forest, because behind that you can see the deep forest. Inside the forest, people often say that the elephants, they don't get food inside the forest, so they come out. No, it is not like that. If you compare Vietnam with India, then in India,
Mr. Shawkat, I'm very sorry to intervene, but
yeah,
if you
please.
kindly can wrap up within 5 minutes due to the paucity of time,
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Okay, no, it's all right. It's all right. In fact, I get a little bit emotional while talking about these things. Now, I'll just mention only one thing and I'll conclude. It is not always the bad things that take place because of the cloudburst or the sudden flood. There are good things also. Like one elephant herd, a huge herd that always used to come inside the Tista River and river bank. But after 2023 flooding, these agri fields got inundated with sand. So that place remained deprived of agricultural output in 2024. And what happened? In 2023, elephants didn't get food there. And 2024, they didn't get food there. So they have forgotten their new habit and they've gone back to their old habit, remaining inside forest. The herd is now, in fact, in 2025 also, that entire herd remained inside forest. They didn't foray into the agricultural fields. So, ma'am, the thing is, I do not know the technicalities about these climatic things or environmental things, but often we measure the impact of all natural calamities at the scale, at the calibrated scale of human loss or property loss or asset loss. But often we fail to notice the loss or profit that we are gaining for the animals. But unfortunately, our lives, we are also heavily dependent on these wildlife and these animals, especially when those are the big ones like elephants. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharkar, for bringing in this very important aspect of climate risks. And as you have concluded with a very important point, we often focus on human aspects, but this how the animals they are getting affected, that area also needs to be focused upon, and we need to be more sensitive and understanding towards those issues. So thank you so much
These
for
baby
your
animals,
very interesting presentation, and really
Ratima,
we all are
Ratima, I
so
beg
touched.
pardon. I beg pardon. I beg pardon. The baby elephant dying, I mean, dying animal that lying on the road. It's a 2 years old baby. It got separated from its mother during a flood at Tista Canal. Then it became almost a pet in these agricultural villages. People used to feed it. I also touched it. Okay, it was so adorable. But at night it was hit by a dumper truck that used to that carries sand and stone chips for civil construction. Those are illegal. Those are illegal, obviously, and it died instantly there.
So painful,
Yeah,
so
it is painful.
pathetic,
This baby
very
was so
pathetic.
adorable.
It's very pathetic, and what to say.
This is also
So,
a loss. This is also a loss caused
mhm.
by this climatic thing and weather, because this
Yeah.
baby got separated from its mother because of flash flood.
Mm. Yes. So, as a part of what Professor Islam has mentioned, what an interesting discussion today. In the first half, from the first speaker, we came to know about why it is happening, the science behind it, and then in the second part with Mr. Sharkar, we could feel, we could see, we could feel like actually how it influences us, our
This is the
lives,
ray of
and
this is the ray
when we
of
say
hope.
our, yeah.
This is
When
the
we say
ray of hope, the
our, it
picture that we are
doesn't
seeing now.
exclude the animals.
Yeah.
So man and animal both. So very interesting discussion on the concept, why it happens, and then what impact it brings with it. So with this, now we are coming to our question answer session. The floor is open. May I invite the participants to kindly share, like you can raise your hand, and if you have any questions to our very eminent speakers, you can please share it with them. Mr. Shorkar, if you can kindly stop your screen sharing, close it. Yes.
I would love
Yes,
to
yes,
I
Dr.
would
Dev.
love to say a few words. That is when this session was planned actually. So then we thought of several things we are thinking, and in one of the Carnegie this thing. Um, that is a social media profile, and in that Professor Tawhidul Islam, he had mentioned something about cloud, atmospheric cloud, and accordingly some people, some geographers, they are very senior, and they said they have shown interest that online discussion should take place, so that's fine. But at the same time, when Sanjay Da introduced me with this is from EHS, so uh, Mr. Devashish Sarkar is there, and he is really working with elephants. And I spoke to him. I was there in Dumbur Lake at that time in Tripura, and from there I spoke to him, and I got the information, uh, which was actually I was trying to relate what I have understood from my colleagues Nita, Jhuma, and others. So that man elephant conflict is a huge thing, and after this glove thing, uh, this has increased, but nowhere in the news or in any, neither in print media nor in visual media, neither, nowhere it was reflected. So I had a long discussion, and then I thought that this atmospheric cloud and its impacts could have been the discussion.
Mhm.
So Tohid bhai, we can discuss more on this data knowledge, information, and wisdom part uh, on a separate, because today you could not cover that, I believe, and that part will definitely, we have that opportunity, we can discuss on that, because it's a
And
very, yeah, Praktima.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt, Dada. Like, as I know Tauhid Bhai's background, so what he's working on this STI component. So
yeah.
how this if STI can be integrated with this, and what kind of innovations we could propose, models could be developed, and he's the best person with us to suggest on that, and what a nice
So
platform it is
yeah,
to
yeah.
discuss on these issues. And what the points that Mr. Sharkar he has pitched in that areas we can look upon in a more deeper way on how this issue of like often when we discuss on this man animal conflict issues, there are many aspects, many facets, but this climate part is often like this kind of cloudburst climate risks are often overlooked. So
Yeah.
how this can be brought in, and with Tawhid Bhai's this his expertise on STI, what kind of STIs can be brought in?
So with Roktima's propositions, so it will increase from 19 to 22. So she has
Yeah.
already proposed for three more sessions. So this is a session, this is a series of sessions
Yeah.
for creating knowledge domain, and we are actually benefited. It is not that Mr. Sarkar, who has been working with the on this issue, man elephant conflict issue, and we are also benefited, and we are since we have been going there in northern region of West Bengal, so we'll definitely enriched, uh, and with Professor Sheikh Tawhidul Islam's this cloud, atmospheric cloud thing, which is very new, very uncommon for not only for myself, I believe for many of us. So we can
Most of us.
make it simpler and make a very detailed thing, and what Mr. Sarkar has said, that is very important, that we are always thinking about early warning for whom? Early warning is not for elephant. Early warning is for the human beings. So we need to think about, uh, in our thinking, in our thought process, we should keep some space for the elephants, for the lower animals. So that is very much, very, very important. So with this, I am stopping here, and I saw one comment from Mr. Mukul to Professor Sheikh Tohidul Islam about uh, Sri Lanka's flood, and something on that, whether it can be termed as atmospheric rain, atmospheric river. Sorry. Thank you.
Basically, I have two observations, three questions, two comments. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Mr. Devashish Sarkar. It is a fantastic kind of presentation. I really love it, and it just brought tears in my eyes when I just saw the baby elephant was dying in that particular way. And I also never just thought that how important the science could be to just give us the early warning, the situation assessment, what are the likely conditions that might just disrupt not only the human lives, the agricultural fields, but also the way the elephants could be, survived, and they could just live their own lives in the wild environments. And we also don't know that sometimes these particular river courses are the tracks. These are the trails they use to just go from one habitat to the other habitats. We have huge limited knowledge. We are basically the problem is that we are not in a position to connect the dots. We are not in a position to understand the cascading impacts. One impact is creating the another impacts, and another impact is creating another impact, and then tertiary, secondary, tertiary, and many different far-reaching consequences we just see. But in our research domains, in our policy formulation processes, all those are absent. This is very dangerous thing. We just always just we are just we are confined with the old-fashioned thoughts and the processes, and we are still trying to just get the data that we need to understand the basic phenomenon. But coming down to the lives of the elephants and the other wildlife and the habitats, we know nothing. Even this particular atmospheric cloud, this is not a new phenomenon. This has been under investigation even in US and in UK for the last 4 decades. But these are new to us because we did not pay attention to that. And the Sri Lanka case, I'm not sure about it. This is basically we need to what we are just doing here. We are doing our research in the retrospective approach. We are just getting some data, old data, to see whether 2010 flood was or the rainfall was happened as a result of the atmospheric river or not. But what will happen in next 2 years time, we do not know that because we don't have any such instrument or the model that could just give us the predictions of the future conditions. So we are far behind, and it is and the countries. I should not just mention any the name of any country, but countries are pulling out. They are just becoming very populist, nationalist countries. They are just blocking the doors. And in recent times, you know that U.S. government has just curtailed the funding from the NOAA. And NOAA, they are providing the satellites data, 1/4 of the whole satellite system that we use to gather information on the atmosphere and the oceanic parameters. We get it from NOAA, and they are just going to just stop all this funding. So that means if we don't have our own capacity, we will never be able to just get that particular data to understand the situation and to make the predictions. So and then elephant thing will just come far later. So we are standing where we are standing. We don't know that. And I'm fortunate that I have just got the nomination from the UNESCO to write the global science, technology, and innovation policies. And Dr. Mr. Devashish Sarkar, really, I appreciate him that he gave me some inputs to think and to just bring something into my report. At least I'll place some of these issues in the board so that the wide range of issues could just come into the in the domain, so that we could just think not only the sustenance and the well-being of the human population, but also the wildlife and other habitats and ecosystems. But this is my last point is that time has come that we have to be depending on our own capacity in terms of data collection, in terms of technology use, in terms of use the knowledge, create the knowledge, and finally just define our fate. We should just fight each other. We should not just Bangladesh should not fight with India. India should not fight with Nepal. Nepal should not fight with India. And so what we are just doing is just rubbish. Nobody will come and solve our problems. And I'm so impressed that Mr. Devashish Sarkar so nicely brought in all this particular phenomenon. He is not a wildlife expert. He is a financial economist, and he is writing all the stuff on the financial issues. And he has so lovely kind of and very nice, very rich kind of work on elephant and wildlife. That is the thing that we need to do. And that particular attention will just help us to understand the cascading impacts. We need to know the cyclic forms of cascading impacts. Otherwise, we'll always just put the barbate boundary lines, and we'll just confine all the elephants in the river courses. And when the flash flood will come, they will die. Thank you so much for inviting me in this very nice session, and I'd love to be with my other remaining slides. Those are very nice slides, and I'm sure that you will love to see all the slides. Maybe sometime, some point, we will just discuss more about it. Thank you so much for inviting me once again.
Thank you, Tawhid bhai. Thank you, Mr. Devashish Sarkar. Mr. Sarkar has said one thing, that is, whether you can hear the sound of crackers, but those crackers, it is not only the sound. I may be forgotten if I am wrong, but I know that those are supplied by the forest department.
Yeah.
Those are supplied, these
Yes.
crackers are supplied. Many people do not know. That is why. So there should be some advocacy opportunities to be created for not to supply those firecrackers,
Those
because
are needed. Those are needed.
those are
Those,
needed.
those are
Those are,
indeed needed, and those are used and supplied under the forest management, wildlife management policy. But there is a thin line. There is a thin line.
but
When
that
those are
thin line
given,
should be advocated.
yeah, that thin
That
line
thin
should be
line,
properly taught. People should be properly taught.
yeah, because people are saying that picha, picha, picha. It was the practice before. It is the practice
Even
still
now.
there in some of the places, but in some of the places where the children or the people communities, they are actually taught about all these things, how to chase the elephant hard, so they know that it cannot be from all the sides,
It
it can
cannot
be
be
from.
from all the sides. There has to be escape route for them.
Yeah. So all these things need to be advocated. So I am very much enriched, I should say, from Professor Sheikh Tohidul Islam and from Mr. Devashish Sarkar on both the issues, and I would request others to actually, and Roktima, to say a few
If
words.
there is any other question, our honorable speakers are here. You can raise your points.
Basically, Dr. Ruktimati, there is one observation from Taposh Ranjan Chakraborty. He's mentioned that early warning about cloud and cloud burst can also help conservation authorities and community activities. He recommended to draft a leaflet or call for policymakers to think about it. So it's a good suggestion. Anuruddha could think of it, and Dr. Madi also. And Mr. Devashish Sarkar, I'm sure that you are very nicely placed with media and all the policymakers. It should not be only the discussion among ourselves. We are definitely we are very interested. That's why we are together. But some people who are just in the driving seat, they also need to the value of science. They need to know how the policy should be aligned with the necessary science and the other requirements. I'm not sure, but this particular Taposh Ranjan Chakraborty's point, like at least one page write up and just keep it here, share with others would be good. Yeah, thank you.
Professor Islam, on this, I may add only I may add one thing. कि inter-country, cross-border communication between Bangladesh, India, Nepal, especially. Bangladesh, India, and Nepal, this cross-border communication, I mean, at diplomatic level, with these technicalities, with this climate environment on these things, that should be there. And whenever I attend any cross-border, these kind of meetings between the diplomats, and I find always financial and policy level issues on the administrative issues to be dealt with. And hardly these real ground informations they do take place there. So this is something I believe missing. It should be
Yeah,
there. It should
I
be
agree
there.
with you. It is very necessary.
Couple of days back, one elephant heart that entered into Bangladesh. And elephants, they don't understand the boundary. Whether water doesn't understand boundary. And to mitigate the diplomatic things only, we had to spoil 3-4 days. It is bad.
So true. And I think Sphere India in this platform, you all will be certainly thinking on how these important points that are dealt upon today can be translated into some actions somewhere, as Mr. Chakraborty has suggested, maybe to begin with, creating
True.
some awareness materials, sharing. And as Aniruddha also mentioned, that like this is the beginning, it's not the end in itself. There will be series of such discussions as well as collaborations. So through that, certainly we will be able to come to some positive end. And I, on behalf of, as a moderator, thank both of my speakers, guests, Dr. Islam, Mr. Sharkar, from the core of my heart for bringing in such important issues before us. It's an eye-opener, particularly that atmospheric river thing. It's though I'm a student of geography, but I have like when Dada approached me on Ridhuda, I said, Dada, আমি সব ভুলে গেছি. I forgot everything. So it's a very refreshing, and thank you so much, Tawhidul Bhai. And again, we have a lot of expectation from you. We know how passionate you are in your research, in your work, in your how sincere you are. So certainly we can work a bit further with you. And Mr. Sharkar, you are so passionate in what you have said. It is very important. What we sometimes we speak from her brain, but not from our heart. But you have matched both head and heart. And we need this kind of passion to bring actually the changes. Thank you so much.
There is a question I find somebody who
Oh,
is
sorry,
named
I
as
missed it.
BP, who is BP. Recently, it says that his text says, recently I was discussing with IFS officers of Assam on water issues. They highlighted issues of excess water in monsoon and no water in summer and winter. We love to learn what strategic actions could have been taken in that direction. My question is to Debashish. Oh yes, there was a deadly planning to mitigate this thing, water river interconnecting project. It would have been disastrous. It could have been disastrous, connecting all the rivers. However, now this Brahmaputra river, in Brahmaputra basin, Brahmaputra river, Tista river, and Mechi rivers, those who flow along the foothills in high gradient, obviously there are at one time there is a very huge hydro load, at one time it is low. And this excess water Tista, for Tista, there is a mega project, Tista barrage project, when this excess water of Tista can be channelized through Mahananda and to be used for irrigation all along the northern half of West Bengal. This is now a central project, but as it happens, the project which was planned earlier, it didn't take place like that. But still, there are certain projects, and most welcome. Mr. Biplab, yes, I can. You have given your telephone number 9825506900. Yeah, you can also call me. You can also ping me, and we'll remain in touch. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now request Mr. Taposh Chakraborty to kindly present the vote of thanks. Mr. Chakraborty, please.
Thanks,
Mr. Taposh
Didi.
Chakraborty. Yeah.
Yeah, Didi, because of this, I mean, the wildlife thing, my background is wildlife ecology. And also I'm working with Professor Tauhid now as his PhD scholar, system
No.
thinking. So the
Okay.
thing is, Didi, why I'm requesting this, currently I'm running a project with MIT on the early warning and climate change projection. It's for the coastal area. And I found that the government agencies now has a responsibility about to translate the warning as an advisory to the mass people, and this is by policy. So if we can have some advocacy with them on the cloud burst, particularly, uh, yeah, we can protect the elephant to come crossing the river. But the thing is, if the crackers can be used to forbid them entering the crop field, why not crossing the river when there is a risk of cloudburst? Let us try. So if we can have a call from our part, based on today's discussion, to the policymaker. It's not need to be printed. It's maybe a PDF of 2 pages. This today's discussion and what is our recommendation from PRISM and Spare India and all of us, so that we can share it with the policymakers, with the meteorologists or the respective authorities. At least bringing this serious matter of thinking to the forest department, that why we are not thinking about this. And this cloudburst is not only because to this elephant. Nowadays, you have seen that number of construction work is in the hilly areas that is causing this landslide. So normal rain will not result in such a landslide. But if it is a cloudburst, then definitely huge landslide happening and landscape changing. So that's why I think from our today's discussion and the next discussions is if we can at least have a call from every of our days, I mean the event, that will make some results and that will bring science policy practice synergies. This was from me, Didi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chakraborty. So, Dr. De, Aniruddha, should we call it a day today?
Yeah. Taposda is from Bangladesh. He is working in BRAC. And I mentioned this because we need to think, we need to see that it is in true sense, it is a Asia Pacific countries are involved, and I agree we can talk on this more. We can discuss, and as Biplab said, Biplab will also need to discuss something. So it is 4:38 now. We have already crossed the threshold limit. So now we should call it a day.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
lastly, I would,
Thank you.
Look
I
forward
would
to
just
meet you
say,
again.
I would like to say special thanks to Dr. Madi. I still remember her dancing with the participants when I was in your office. So as the executive director, he was dancing with the members of the participants from the villages. I still remember that. Very nice.
We look forward to meet again, Tauhid Bhai.
Yeah,
soon.
definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye all.
Bye.
Good.